Okay, so it's the middle of the night, and I just woke up from a really weird dream. And I wanted to share the dream with you because it was so strange. But first I should disclose that and disclaim also that this obviously is not real. This was only a dream. And please don't assume that it's the real story, because dreams are oftentimes not at all based in reality. But here goes. So my dream was that the news had come on and the newscaster was saying that Don Wells and Candus Wells were being charged. But they weren't being charged with murder. They were being charged with whatever the crime is where you fake a situation. And I can't think of the right wording of it right now. But basically it was one big hoax. That all this was one grand hoax. And that's why they haven't showed emotion. And let me tell you, it was absolutely bizarre. And so it was Candus, it was a video, like I said, on the news. And Candus and Don were both getting carted off to jail. And they were going to be faced with $50,000 to $100,000 in fines just for the search and rescue team and all the costs that accrued. Or, God, I can't even think of my words. Accrued. And they had to pay back basically the county and stuff. It was unbelievable. And so then it reminded me, Miss TikTok Queen Candus. Now, please don't take offense when I say that, but we know she loved to do her TikTok videos before this big deal, this big vanishing of Summer. And so it had me thinking, or realizing, I guess, in the dream, that it was because she wanted fame. She wanted everybody to know her name. In the same way that she produced these TikTok videos in hopes of, maybe getting recognized. I'm not really sure why people do TikTok. Maybe it's just to show their life. I'm not really sure. It's kind of one of those things I'm just barely trying to understand. But I see that, it's useful in its own way, maybe, but I don't like having to do really short clips, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was all her pursuit of fame and maybe being like a star in some way. Like, remember that show Honey Boo Boo? And how her, the lady's daughter, what was her name? Yeah, Honey Boo Boo, but I can't remember her real name. And she would go to these pageants and do these childhood pageants. And back then she was a bit thinner. Since she was, younger, she was a little maybe cuter. And so she would win, and it was just to kind of capture her really dysfunctional life with Mama June and whatever the dad's name was, Scooter or Skeeter, or I'm probably not even remembering the name correctly. But it was really something. It was like that. She wanted her show. And that this was all one big grand hoax. And if you can remember back, I don't know if you're in America or not, but in America, we had, back in 2009, there was a family that had appeared on Wife Swap. And I wish I could remember their last name. It started with the H, I believe. And they had built, the dad and his 3 sons. They were the wife was an Asian lady. The dad was an American guy. and they had 3 or 4 maybe sons. And the youngest boy, was supposedly caught in this flying saucer that the dad and the sons had constructed in their backyard. And in reality, they had launched a saucer of sorts, whatever you want to call that thing. And supposedly, the boy was up in that saucer, but in reality, he was hiding in the attic. And so that family faced a ton of news. I think there was even a live news feed of the dang saucer floating through the air. And it was just like, oh, Twilight Zone crazy. But anyway, they ended up charging the parents. And they had to pay back all these fines and stuff because it cost the state or the city so much just to try to get that boy, safely to land that flying saucer without, crashing and dying and that sort of thing. But so in reality, once the search team or the whatever we want to call them, recovery team, people to get the saucer down, once the saucer came down, the boy was not even in the saucer, which is crazy. So yeah, they had to charge the parents, and who knows if they ever paid it back. I mean, I believe that was back in 2009. They called the boy Balloon Boy. So if you remember that, well, yeah, you know what I'm talking about then. So anyway, what I'm getting at is, in my dream, this was all one big hoax. How weird. And I'm sure that's not the case. I'm sure this really did happen. But why isn't this family showing emotion? And furthermore, why isn't this family showing that they really want her back? I don't think there's been many flyers passed out. From what I understand, in that interview with David Dotson, the church family friend, he said that they're going to wait, to do the flyers, which is absurd to me. Why wouldn't you, something in the neighborhood, why wouldn't you want, while it's still fresh in the minds and hearts of everybody, get that flyer out there, remind people what the girl looks like, and also put an updated picture of the girl of Summer. She's got her hair cut. She might be mistaken as a boy if they have her dressed in boys' clothes, which is very much possible, by the way. I don't know. This whole situation just is crazy. What I want to know is, with how much, Facebooking and TikTok and all that stuff, and every memory that this mother, Candus, captured, why wasn't there any picture or video or in some way proof? And maybe there's proof in her phone, I don't know. But why wasn't there any proof of this whole afternoon, that she allegedly had with Mom, Hunter, Grandma, and oh, I already said that. You know what I'm saying? And her. Why wasn't there more proof of the day's events? Because if you're documenting everything via phone all the time, pretty much every breath that you take, every step you take, why wasn't there any documentation, any picture proof that this planting of the flowers and that kind of stuff happened? We all know how easy it is, in the case of the boys, how easy it is to create false memories in your kids. It's not, I hate to say sorry. It's not hard to do that. I could right now go to my 6-year-old and say, "Oh, honey, you weren't feeling good last night, were you? You were feeling sick, weren't you?" And then she would believe that she was feeling sick. She might say, I don't know, Mom, I'm okay now. But then that would cause her, more than likely, it doesn't matter how smart your child is, they still take what you say as gospel. And I think at that point she would be like, yeah, I guess I was sick last night. Okay. And then the story would be to my mom, oh, Mom, I was sick. I was sick last night. It's very easy, okay? Very easy to create false memories. Some believe that Lori Vallow created false memories in Colby. I hate to discount his sex abuse allegations towards his stepdad, but you never know. Lori Vallow was a very deceptive woman. Is a deceptive woman. And she'd go to great lengths to get what she wanted. So really, yeah, creating false memories is very possible. And perhaps Candus went in and told her boys that day, hey, you just saw Summer, right? Yeah, she was just down here. You guys saw her, right, when she was passing by. You saw her. Which way did she go? Oh, I don't know, Mom. She went down to the basement. It could be as simple as that. And then they believed it. Now, I'm sure I'm going to get somebody to challenge me. Some child psychologist or something. But I believe, and I know firsthand, actually, how it works with kids. I have 3 of them. My oldest is 13. It's not my first rodeo. Kids can be convinced very easily that something happened when it didn't even happen. I know when my son was really little, if somebody told him something that he didn't see with his own eyes, he considered it gospel, that really happened. And my daughter to this day is a bit gullible. Of course she's 6, so when you're 6, I think most of the time you're still pretty gullible. I know I probably was. I understand though, some kids have to grow up a little bit faster. They deal with adult situations sooner, so it makes them maybe a little bit, I don't know, more quick on their feet. But in this case, I can't help but wonder if those boys had some sort of false memory implanted or embedded into their minds from their mother. Don't you think it's kind of curious that she only showed up with one son that day of that prayer vigil like 2 or 3 days ago? And I believe it was it the youngest or the oldest son? I can't remember. And either of those sons would make sense. You've got your oldest one at age 13. He might lie for you. I don't know. And at age 9, if that's the youngest boy's age, they're still, I think, easily convinced. A false memory could be in his little mind. I don't know. These are all this is my rambling. It's like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. I need to go back to bed, but I wanted to share my dream while it was still fresh. So yeah, this was one big hoax in my dream. And that's why there was no emotion. I'm back to the point where I have a lot more questions. And I'm definitely viewing the parents in a lot more of a skeptical manner. This just doesn't make much sense. You look at parents who are actually missing their children authentically, and they are a mess. They can't hold it together. And they hold out hope for years. Like there was one case, I wish I could remember who it was, but this mother had held out hope for like 25 years and stayed living in the same home for fear that if her son came back one day, that she would want to be there to welcome him with open arms. So, yeah, I don't understand the no emotion thing. Anyway, I'll let you get back to what you're doing. Thank you for watching, whoever stayed tuned through the dream, through my commentary. Thank you so much, and I hope you're having a good day ahead. Bye.